For a smooth ride, the car's suspension is essential. It is composed of multiple parts, each of which may eventually require replacement or repair. The most typical auto suspension repairs and their related expenses are covered in this guide. It's the Car Problems YouTube channel. Subscribe and let's get started. Wheel alignment. Wheel alignment is the most frequent reason for suspension maintenance. Usually, it is done every 6,000 miles or whenever the car begins to pull to one side. Additionally, the tire's uneven wear may necessitate it. The wheel alignment is inexpensive, which is good news. The average cost of a two-wheel alignment is between $45 and $100. Control arm replacement. The wheels are attached to the car frame by the control arm's hinges. The lower control arm bushings on a car with front-wheel drive are the most likely to require repair. You will hear odd rattles and clunking when the control arms are damaged or bent. The average cost of this repair could be between $500 and $750. Shock absorbers and struts. Check for wear on the shocks and struts every 50,000 to 60,000 miles. The car's ride quality deteriorates, and control over the vehicle may be lost when these components begin to fail. The cost of replacing all four could range from $500 to $1,500, depending on the kind of vehicle you drive and the cost of the parts. The majority of people lack the tools necessary to alter these components independently. Ball joint replacement. The car's wheel and tire are connected to the rest of the suspension system by the ball joints. While some cars only have ball joints in the front, others also have them in the back. You might only need to spend $150 to $300 to replace one ball joint. The cost of replacing all four could range from $600 to $1,200. Spring replacement. The vehicle has more bounce and less stability when the springs are damaged. Once more, changing the springs can be a laborious process that calls for specific tools to guarantee safety. As a result, the cost of replacing each spring could range from $225 to $500. At the very least, you should replace the coil springs in pairs, even though you might not need to replace all four at once. Complete overhaul. There will be times when replacing the entire suspension is necessary, even though most repairs only involve one or two parts at a time. These overhauls become feasible if you wish to improve the suspension or if you have been in a serious accident where the structural integrity has been compromised. It goes without saying that replacing all of the important components will cost several times as much as the prices listed above. Because of this, a full overhaul might easily cost $3,500 or more, particularly if performance parts are being used. We advise you to learn the symptoms of suspension issues if you are unsure of how serious your suspension problems are or if it needs to be replaced immediately. More bounce. The purpose of the suspension is to reduce vibrations and prevent the car from bouncing. It shouldn't be noticeable much through the cabin, even if you are traveling on a bumpy road. The suspension system's ability to cushion the shock from these road imperfections decreases with age and wear. With every bump it hits, the car will bounce for longer and longer. Ride becomes rough. You learn to know how your car feels as you continue to drive it. You merge with the handling and steering. Therefore, you know something is amiss when the ride abruptly becomes rough, even on smooth roads. You will begin to feel every bump and pothole as the suspension fails. Strange sounds. It will begin to make a lot of odd noises as the suspension breaks. Initially, you may only hear a little squeaking, particularly when you bump into something. The sounds may change as the situation worsens. Depending on which parts are malfunctioning, it might even start to make a clunking or grinding sound. Harder to control. You may find it more difficult to control the vehicle with the additional bounce and vibration coming from the steering wheel. When taking turns, these problems might be more noticeable. At first, the instability can be frightening, but all it should do is make you want to have the suspension fixed. Uneven tire wear. Examining the tire treads is a good way to see how the suspension is functioning. The tread should continue to wear uniformly when everything is functioning properly. An issue with the suspension is indicated when the tire tread begins to wear unevenly. You should take care of the issue and get the tires rotated immediately to prevent having to replace them too soon. Can you drive with a broken suspension? You should never operate your vehicle with a damaged suspension component. To begin with, you will not enjoy the ride and it will not be comfortable. Beyond that, you also need to think about safety concerns. You risk losing control of your car as the suspension deteriorates. Turning or braking may become impossible, putting you in danger. Furthermore, you are putting other people's lives in danger while driving, and they have no say in the matter. Yes, fixing certain suspension components can be costly, but how much does a totaled car or a life lost cost? No comparison can be made. Hope the information is helpful for you. If so, please press the like button and subscribe to the channel.